Right.
And I'll correct you anyway.
Yes, yes, do.
I had a...
Yeah, don't let me have egg on my face.
I didn't know. I did a radio interview and they're saying, so why do beekeepers walk around with a can of smoke? And I started to laugh because it really caught me. I said, I'm sorry, I've never heard it called a can of smoke before.
That's pretty normal, really.
Yes,
isn't it?
yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's correct in its own little way. But anyway, language. That was interesting yesterday, that language thing, because I thought Michael was talking about something entirely different when he was talking about not the cleats, but the supports and that. And I'm going, I don't know what he's talking about.
Isn't it
But as
funny
soon as
how-
we hit the same word,
Yes, bingo. Yeah, you just knew each other. Yeah, no, I've had people ask me stuff and I have no idea what they're talking about. Like for half an hour even, and I'm still, then the penny drops.
Yeah.
It's incredible. Yeah, just
Yeah.
communication.
I mean, it's marriage. Shh, stop.
Okay,
Okay.
no, seriousness now. In the back of the ute with Kevin Tracy, who is a beekeeper and an educator with the beekeeping people. This is an easy lift, and we just thought it would be really cool to hang out in amongst all the beehives in the back of the ute, beekeeping ute, so that you lift your hives if you need to. I think I'm going to have to do this again because I am waffling. Have I told you my intros are the worst things ever?
In 5 minutes, she'll have it all together. I'm pretty relaxed
it's
now,
'cause-
so wake me when you're ready, Tamsin.
Okay, it's because I need to introduce. Once you start talking, it'll be fine. I'll just hang out.
Do you want me to do the intro? I'm at the back of the ute with Tamsin Ravel, and we're bringing you some information and sharing with you from a beekeeping apiary. At the back of the ute is an easy loader, which makes lifting hives much better so that beekeepers don't necessarily have to suffer the back injuries they do. So workplace health and safety. Tamsin, this is a real pleasure. I'm telling you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for taking over the intro. This is Kevin Tracy, everybody. I really stumble over the intro, so he just thought I'll just do it myself. Welcome to the back
Thank
of somebody else's ute.
Yeah. Yes, confession, I do not own one of these.
So you are really passionate about beekeeping
Yes,
and educating beekeepers.
more so than ever, yes.
And then there's that little bit of the mental health as well, so community spirit and making sure that we're all have that wellness, because beekeeping is really, really good for us.
I agree with that entirely, and there are more opportunities coming up for people. There's even things called Hives for Heroes, where people with PTSD are going along, working beehives and just chilling out in a sense and getting a focus that beekeeping can do. It's wonderful for that.
It's really important, isn't it? Because what I'm finding as I'm doing more of these in the back of the yarns, as fun as they are, we are talking about something really serious, and of course mental health is not just on the people that it's affecting, but the community and our society as a whole, because the money that's needed to support these individuals is just going through the roof, isn't it?
Yes, yes. And society as a whole can become a pit if you actually are suffering from mental health. And I do speak from some pretty serious experience, and I'm glad to say out of the dumps and back on top and functioning pretty well. And it's not entirely because of beekeeping, but that's been a real help. Focus and, can I say, mindfulness, because when you're focused on something that takes your attention away from yourself, it's quite helpful.
Yeah, and that whole community spirit. So even when I'm doing things like, well, this is actually my first proper hands-on beekeeping education session. So we met in the conference.
Yes.
And we keep bumping into each other like that. But there's 5 of us in total, and it's just lovely to interact and be in that sort of social environment with the beekeeping.
Yes, and that's why I have this, dare I say, passion for the education part. I've done my time. You can probably tell I wasn't born yesterday. I've done my time with the harder slog of hundreds of beehives, and as a queen breeder, the intensity and the time frame in working with that. But I see people not managing with their bees very well, so education is paramount to me now, and the best part of it is some of the great people I get to meet and continue in a friendship and helping way. People such as yourself, Tamsin, this is a real pleasure.
Yeah, thank you. So Kevin and I tripped over each other in the Gympie conference in like 2017 or 18, I think, and it was all to do with this placemat, and this placemat was the trippiest thing ever, and
Yes.
I just thought, how can anybody eat their dinner off this placemat? So we ended up having a conversation, and we've been friends ever since, so it's been really good. So you spent
Don't do 3D placemats of bees. The colors and the focus are nauseating.
Yeah, I bought one.
Did you?
Yes. I didn't eat. I've never had dinner off it though. I just couldn't help it.
Yeah.
It was a conversation
Yes.
piece anyway. But tell us about you've just sort of you've been teaching down at Tocal.
Yes.
Past 3 years.
Yes.
What is Tocal and how is it?
Well, there's a question. Tocal Agricultural College is part of the New South Wales DPI, and they do horses and cows and bulls and sheep and bees.
So it's all mixed into one?
Yes, it's the one college, but no, they're different areas of education, yes.
All right. Because that's really important, because of course farmers used to have, going now into the regenerative side,
Yes.
beehives, didn't they?
Yes.
Once upon a time.
Yes, and people are noticing more and more that there are fewer and fewer bees. And it's not because the bees in Australia are in danger or dying or disappearing. We have the best place for bees in the world. It's because of what's happening to the land. We're bulldozing, we're developing, we have large acres that are useful to bees for a while, and then that's it. So even just a few hives on every property or that for your own benefit in pollination. There's always honey too, well, almost always honey.
And that's the secret, isn't it? That to keep a healthy hive, it's maintaining the food source around them.
Yes.
So urban gardens are perfect,
Yes,
aren't
they are. They're quite satisfactory. The trouble with urban gardens is they're urban. Sorry, they're not in necessarily the kind of country in which I myself would like to live. No offense to anyone, but I do like the country a little bit more. And so it has its challenges, but now that I've moved back to Queensland and doing, can I say, my own training exercises for people, I'm meeting more people coming from more urban environments, more suburban, urban, even city, but I still have a longing to help people in the outer regions.
Yeah.
To get a grip on some. It doesn't have to be a lot. You don't have to do hundreds of colonies, just a couple, and it changes things for you.
See, and one of the things as well is the farmers, once they get to a certain age, they are needing to hand over their farm, but they don't want to give up that sort of farming life.
Yes.
So what you've got an idea here of where they can step into?
Oh, absolutely. Maintain your attachment with the total environment. In fact, many people find out a lot more about their environment once they start working with bees, because you become more aware of the actual flora that's around you, what resources there are, the weather. I know, primary industry and weather, they're like that, and we do suffer the same sort of things. We had the droughts, the bushfires, COVID even affected beekeepers something seriously, still is for transporting. But if you've got a few hives handy to home and you can go and work with them, and I'm just thinking, even as I say that, of one couple that I met, an older couple, and the wife actually said to me, don't ever stop him going to his bees, because whenever he does that, he's out of the house. All right, so she was pretty excited by that.
It got benefits both
Yes,
ways.
yes, for everyone. It's a great thing for everyone.
Yeah, yeah. This course, let's take it to this course then.
Okay.
So you've started a new course that's equivalent to Certificate 3.
It's equivalent, but it's not accredited. That is, you don't get a nationally recognition for it. However, I'm teaching it at that level and giving a certificate that says you've done everything required.
Yeah.
So it's still at that level and quality, and because we don't have the demand for the economics to fund the bureaucracy, they're more affordable. And
Yeah.
that's what I like. That's what really got to me, was people couldn't attend because it cost too much money.
Yeah.
And I'm in control of that now. So
Yeah. And you're back in Queensland.
yeah, oh, and I'm back in Queensland.
That's all good.
I made it over the border.
Yeah, yeah. And what I love though is there's two different types of beekeepers. There's one like me who's had to study and prepare herself for 5 years before taking this leap into actually getting a hive. And there's other people, like there's a gentleman, what's his name, who just got a hive and then went,
Yes.
oh, I don't know anything
Yes,
I'm doing, and so I need to come to a course like
Exactly.
this and learn.
yes.
So it caters for both of different types of personality.
Oh yes, and because of I have a reasonable breadth of experience with those different ranges, from commercial beekeepers that are generational right through to people who say, I want to know about bees before I even get them. I'm able most of the time to juggle with that to accommodate the needs of the student.
Yeah.
That's what I'm here for.
Yeah. Well, I'm so glad I met you over a placemat.
I'm so glad I didn't think about you when I threw up.
That's okay. I can take a compliment.
But before we go, I have a present for you.
Oh no.
I do, yes.
You?
Yes. Your very own hive tool, and this is compliments of Kevin Tracy, Bees Own Apiaries, and V's Bees Equipment Supplies.
Oh, thank you so
No,
much.
thank you.
Oh, I was just wondering how I was going to lift all these frames up today, 'cause I've never done it. My first tool.
Yes, it's not engraved, but you know,
Oh, that's thank you. I'll just.
there's a limit to everything. And it's not in 3D either until she sees the bees coming at her. Yeah.
Thanks so much, Kevin.
My pleasure, Tamsin. A really good time. Thanks for the opportunity. See you all. Thanks, Tamsin.
Oh my God.